Shalom, Lord Christ Israel is priest and also of 1,000 guitar, but ISUPK Detroit. Of course, we're back with another ISUPK Sabbath service. This is the Sabbath day of the Most High God, of course. So take a minute to like, share, and subscribe. As you see, I got the swag of Kodash on today. You know, so I'm pretty sure something profound is going to come out. All right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I module, which means to stand. Who's all of it? La Yashala, which means to Israel. Sarpayim Aquadum, which means to turn and face the east. The water. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kowa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lacham, Cow, Yuwam, Wasalaknanawa, Salakia, Kabawatinawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Bala'ah, Fabianawa, Banasaiwan, Obor, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wala'ala, Wata Parath, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever, so be it. This is the Hakat, the power, in the Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Baba Kushah, Lasananawa, Hakat, La Pa'ah, Kal Makalawa, Kal Madawa, Hakat, La Tahar, La Hamatazarayim, Hakat, La Hakwayim, Hamathium, Hakat, Al Rakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shun, Ba Shem Yahushua, the Wada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, the power against the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power against unclean lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in the in the Hebrew, Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shah, Barakmanawa, Wayasha'ala, Wahabayah, Saparium, by Shem Yahweh Shah, the Wada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haharim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakakat, Wa'arat, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar Ra, Yashamar, Atmapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wawa'aka, Ma'athai, Wa'ai, our love. Psalms 121 in the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all Salakia. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim, Adalayamaka, Athakarash, Athashakwat, Al, Kayahana, Awayabika, Yahmayawan, Wamashana Yaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al-Amyaka, Ya'amyamwa, Sawad, Wayathaya Aitazwa, Al-Tazapawanyaka, Amora, Lakawa, Wanakankina, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shumya Sha'ala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Aitazwa, Lab, Yakadawa, Alyaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahahoya, Adawan, Wayashamai, Alayum, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'aimawan, Wa'amalat, Palashat, Aim Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gum Ashiwar, Nalawa, Amaim, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labunya Lawat, Salah, Ashalahum, Kamadian, Kasiyasara'a, Kayabian, Banakar, Kawashuman, Nashamadwa, Kasiyasara'a, Salakia, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayanda Ra'a, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Sha'athamwa, Nadiyamawa, Ka'arab, Wakaza Abba, Wakazabak, Wakatazar Mana'ai, Kalnashia Kumra, Ashar, Amora, Naira Shah, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Sha'athamwa, Kagoyula, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Taba Ira Ya'ira, Waka, Lahaba, Taba. Talahat, Harayam, Kantaradatma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa Wapaka, Tabahalom, Mala'a, Payahom, Quayawam, Wabaquashua, Shumka Yahawa, Yabashua, Wabahoya, Ayai, Wakaparwa, Wayabadua, Wayadaiwa, Kaya Atha, Shumka Yahawa, Labatka, Ayawan, Alkahar Ratazar. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consorted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more remembrance. For they have consorted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, so Lot, doing to them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kazan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, make the nobles like Oreb and like Z, and all their princes like Zabah, as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, are the most high over all the earth. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah, wa Ma'ika Allah, wa Alahayim, Matazabiyah, Alawap Yahana, Ha-Alawapium, Ha-Tharunium, Ha-Quatazayunium, Ha-Kayayayum, Wa-Ha-Wathian, Yahweh, Ba-Shem Yahweh Shah, Tawada Amun. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, Commander Johanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Sorry. Shabia, which means you may be seated. All right, Israel, where y'all at? Well, y'all said y'all at the Midwest Fire Weekend. That's y'all only excuse. Your only excuse. And I feel like my rib took this time to show up to class because she knew y'all wasn't going to be here. All right, let's get to it. So we're going to be picking up in the book of Exodus. We're going to be starting at the what chapter? She finding it now. What chapter we starting at? Yeah. We're starting at the book of Exodus, chapter 35, verse 34. Now, she said she listened to the last class and she on it. You said what chapter? 35 and 34? Chapter 34? All right, just making sure. All right, so as we normally do, we're going to get the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we're going to pick it up in the English, give you guys the understanding of the breakdown, and then we're going to progress. We're going to hit 49 verses today. Bear with me. I don't have Shayawan here. I had to look out the window just to make sure he wasn't pulling up, you know. All right, so this is Exodus chapter 35, starting at the 34th verse. Wallah Hawarath Nathan Bala Wab Salakia Bala Bawa Hawa'a Ha'a Halaya Bun Akya Samak Lamat Dun, verse 35. Mala'ah Athum Ha Kamath Lab La'ai Shawath Kal Mala'ah Kath Karash Wakashab Wara Quam Bathak Lath Waba'a Ragum Na Bath Wala'ith Hashunya Wabash Salakia Wabash Shah Wa'a Raga Aishaya Kal Mala'ak Mala'aka Waka Shabya Maka Shabyath Maka Shabath Maka Shabath. This is Exodus chapter 36 and verse 1. Wa Aisha Batazah La'ala Wa'a Halaya'ab Wakal Ayash Ha Kam Lab Aishar Nathan Yahweh Hagam Ha Wathab Wana Bahama Ladad Lada'ith La'ai Shath Ath Kal Mala'akath I Ibad Ibadath Hakodash Lakal Ashar Tazawa'a Yahweh, verse 2. Waya Kwara'a Masha Al Bataza La'al Wa'al Iha Laya Ab Wa'al Kal Ayash Hakam Lab Ishar Nathan Yahweh Hama Bala Bawa Kal Ashar Nisha Awa Labwa La Kwara'ab La qua rabah. La qua rabah al hum la akah la aisha atha, verse 3. Waya kwakathwa, Salakia, Waya kwakawa mala panya masha ath kal hathar wama ashar haba ya'awa banya yasha'ala lama la'akath ibad tha hakodash la'ashath atha wahum haba haba ya'awa ala yawa iwad Nadaba Baba Korah, verse 4. Wayaba Awa Kal Haka Kum Yum Ha'ai Shayum Ath Kal Mala'akath Hakodash Ayash Mama La'ak Thawa Ashar Hama Aishawam, verse 5. Waya Amarwa Al Masha La Amar Marab Yum Ha'aim Lahab Ya'ah Madya Ha'aid Badya Lum La'aka Asha Tazawa'a Yahweh La'ai Atha. And that's 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to go ahead and get it in the English. This is the book of Exodus, starting at the 35th chapter and the 34th verse. And it reads in the English, and he put in his heart that he may teach both he and that's one of them names. Aholaab, the son of Ashamak of the tribe of Dan. Verse 35. Them have he filled with wisdom of heart to work all manner of work of the engraver and of cunning workmen and of the embroiderer in blue and in purple and scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. So in essence, as the Most High is going through and he's giving, let's say, the priest, Moses, Aaron, the instructions of what to carry out, notice that it's saying the engraver and of cunning workmen and of the embroiderer. So it's naming out the skills or the job tags that should be done in these offices, that should be done to upkeep his temple, to upkeep what he has set in place. And notice it said cunning workmen. So it's just not sloppy workmen, because in today's mentality, people just want to do what they do. You say take the trash out, they just gonna take the trash, fling it in the dumpster, a paper fall out, they're gonna leave it on the floor. Something drip off the side because you flung it, they just gonna let it sit on the can. But when it talks about of cunning workmen, that means of skill. That means you have some skill in that area. And the embroiderer in blue, so we know he's picking certain colors. So imagine he said embroiderer blue and you gave him green. In today's society, people feel like, oh, he shouldn't be worried about the color. I did what he asked. I just didn't have the right color. Now think about it like this. You were given a simple order to get blue. You come back with green. Now, what a lot of you don't understand it, there's a spiritual aspect behind you bringing green. There was a lack of faith. There was a lack of trust. It was utter disobedience. Now, we're not talking about you looked everywhere, you couldn't find blue, and you came back and said, hey, I can't find blue. Is it okay if I use green? No, you went and got green and you thought nothing about it. He said of blue and of scarlet, and you got green and yellow. And you don't see a problem with it. And that's the issue in 2025. He tells you not to eat pork, and you say, oh, no, it's just meat. It's okay now. Or you say, well, chickens eat everything too. They're bottom feeders too. And you try to justify your disobedience. You try to make logic out of your disobedience. In all actuality, you should have just went and got the blue. You should have just did exactly what he told you to do. That's the test. The test isn't when you're given everything and everything is provided, what would you do? The test is now when I remove something from you. Now when you get into a car accident. Now when your rent is due. Now when the whole world is talking about you and telling you what to do and what not to do, telling you looking foolish, telling you looking like a Power Ranger and everything in between, what will you do? Will you do thus saith the Lord, or will you do what's in your simple mind and justify your disobedience? These are real simple concepts. Let's keep going. We're going to pick it up in 36:1. Then brought Bazael and Alobit, Aholaab. You know what? Sometimes that's where you got functions on your phone. Page 171. So, yeah. All right. They got me closer. You notice that they turned that B into a V, but, they some bastards. And every wise-hearted man in whom the Lord put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that the Lord had commanded. So again, now it was the wise-hearted men or man that was brought, in whom the Lord put wisdom and understanding for these purposes. So it wasn't like you just pick random people and say, hey, you go get it. Nah. The Lord put wisdom and understanding to these people to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary. That was the purpose of this. So he's giving you a job and he's saying, I want you to do the job like this. I have employees that I kind of battle with the same thing. I've been doing what I've been doing for over 15 years. And I have fresh YNs at the age of 28. Yeah, I said that. Fresh YNs at the age of 28 that never had a job, that be like, I think it should be done this way. I think it should be done this way. Or how come we can't do it this way? And then sometimes in my experience, I understand that some people really got to hit their head against the wall. They really have to see it for themselves. So you allow them to do it. And then when they run into the issues that you knew they were gonna run into, then it's an opportunity for me to explain. So, hey, this is why I said to start in the back and work your way to the front. Because if you start in the back, The people who's closing out the front, you won't get in their way. You won't clean up the front, and then they're still doing their closing duties. And then when you come back to the front after you clean the back, now it's stuff all over the floor, this and that and the third. So it's an order of operations you should follow. And if you do it exactly like this, it'd be perfect. But then you have some people who just say, well, what if I do it this way and then I can just do this and then do that? Okay, see how it works out. And then right before they shift in, I say, hey, you missed this, this, and this, and this. Well, no, I had got this, but after I had did what I was supposed to do, somebody came back. Hence why I told you to start in the back where nobody is and work your way to the front. Because by the time you get to the front, it'll be, and that's certain things that the Most High shouldn't have to explain to us. As children, you should just do what you're told. You should have the trust and the faith that the Most High isn't going to walk you off a cliff or walk you through the sea without a plan. If he tells you to walk through the sea, I'm pretty sure it's a good chance that he's going to part it just so you can walk through it. But what do we have in our head? We have disobedience. We have what we have in our head, and we trump God. That's what we do. Jade over there looking. All right, let's get to the next verse. And Moses called Bezalel and Ahalo. So I'm gonna give this guy a name. I'm gonna call him Eliab. That's what he's gonna be. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call him from now on. And every wise man in whose heart the Lord had put wisdom, everyone whose heart stirred him up to come unto the work to do it. Doesn't that sound familiar? I know if you're in the ISUPK, that sounds familiar. Because there was a part in your life, there was a time in your life where you couldn't function without a proper understanding. You had this fire inside of you that you had to let go. And you were drawn into the ISUPK. Now, the goal is to keep that fire lit. The goal is to stand 10 toes on what you've been taught. The goal is to endure until the end. But this verse reflects the men of the ISUPK, because we had our hearts stirred to come into the work to do it. I saw my people being led astray, and it frustrated me. That's why when the scripture says oppression maketh a wise man mad, yes, I was angry. And it took men above me, men appointed by God to let me know that anger is righteous. And there's a way to utilize that anger. There's a way to go out here and fight the way the Most High wants you to fight. And guess what? When you fight that way, you win. There is no L's. There's not even an L in death when you're fighting according to the Most High. Let's keep going. Verse 3, and they received of Moses all of the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary. So now we understand that the body, the children of Israel, supports the work of the service of the sanctuary. It's not just for the priests and the prophets to do everything. Oh, so we gotta go out, work a job, so when you fall off or when hard times come, we can support you. We got to go out, be perfect examples for the world, and then we come back to service, and then nobody is participating in the sanctuary. Nobody is being that child who actually remembers the Sabbath day to keep it holy. It's a difference. It's almost like in the Christian church. People go to the Christian church to be taught. And when I say to be taught, it's a teaching of closed mind. The pastor read, for the wages of sin is death, but you can do anything. And then you just, well, wait, he said the wages of sin is death. And then he went on to say, but I can do anything. You never looked at that verse and say, well, no, it doesn't say, but I can do anything. You just take it as is. You take it for granted. And that's not what this body is for. This body is to operate as one. It's not to be operating as an individual, so your left leg go one direction and your right leg go the other direction. That's confusion. That's already what's happening in the world. You got Baptists going in one direction, Apostolic going in the other direction, Catholics going in another direction, Methodists going in a different direction, Lutheran and all the other in between, all in different directions. But when you follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and you do what he asks you to do, guess what? You're together. You're all on one accord with the Most High. Verse 4, and all the wise men that were, verse 4, and all the wise men that were wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they had made. Verse 5, and they spake to Moses, saying, the people brings much more than enough for the service of the work which the Lord commanded to make. So they're like, hey, the people did more than what was asked. That's the spirit that we need to have in 2025. When we go out and we feed the less fortunate and we clothe the less fortunate, your support goes a long way. When you say, you know what, I got a bunch of canned foods I know I ain't gonna eat, let me donate it to the school. I got a bunch of clothes I haven't worn in 5 years. It's too small. Let me donate it to the school, because I know the school is going to donate it to the people. The school is going to give it to who needs it. That's the work of the school. That's the work of the sanctuary. And the people and the children of Israel supported it to the point where we had more than enough. That's the same spirit we need in 2025. All right, so we're going to get the next 7 verses in the Hebrew. This is Exodus chapter 36, starting at verse 6. Waya tazawa, masha, waya, ibya, raya, waya, I, baya, rawa. Okay. Kwawala, bama, hana, la amar, ayash, wa asha, al, ya aisha, la aishawa, iwad, mala, mala'aka, latha, rawa, matha, hakodash, waya, kala'a, ha'aim, mahab, ya'a, verse 7, wahum, la'aka, hayatha, the yum, lakal, hamala'ak, hamala'aka, la'ai, shawath, atha, waha, wathara, verse 8, waya, aishawa, kal, Ha Hakum Lab Ba'aishawa Hum La'aka Af Hum Shakan Aishar Yura Ya'ith Shasha Musha Zara Wathak Wathak Lath Wa'arag Mun Watha Wala'ith Shanya Karab Yum Sha Ma'aisha Kashab Aisha Athum, verse 9. Arak Haya Rayai Ha'akath Shumna Wa'ai Shara Yum Ba'ama Warakaba Arabai Ba'ama Haya Raya Iha Haya Raya I Ha'akath Mada Akath Lakal Aya Haya Raya Ith, verse 10. Waya Chabara Ath Hamash Haya Raya Ith. Akath Al Akath will come Wahamash Wara Ya'ith Chabara Akath Al Akath, verse 11. Waya Aisha Lala'ath Lakath Tha Al Shapath Haya Ra'aya Haya Raya Aya Haya Ra'ai Haya Raya Aya Ha'akath Makwa Taza'a Bumka Buma Kabath Ra Kabarath Khan Aisha Bashapath Haya Raya Aya Hakwaya Tazawan Buma Rath Hashanyath, verse 12. Kamash Yum Lala'ath Aisha Baya Raya Aya Ha'akath Waham Shayum Lala'ath Aisha Ba Kwataza'a Haya Raya Aya Ashar Bama Karath Hashem Yath Hakwab Salakia Makwab Yalath Hala'ath Lala'ath Akath Al Akath. And that's 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to go ahead and get it in the English. This is the book of Exodus chapter 36. And verse 6. And Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary, for the people were restrained from bringing. So they had to tell the people, hey, we got enough. Stop making stuff. All y'all women making quilts and comforters and blankets and embroidery. All right, chill. All y'all guys is making cups and bowls and dishes. Chill. We got it. Verse 7, for the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it and too much. Verse 8, and every wise-hearted man among them that wrought the work of the tabernacle made 10 curtains of fine twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet, with cherubims of cunning work made he them. Again, of cunning work. It wasn't sloppy work. So check your spirit as you do work for the Most High. As you've been told to go clean the restroom, as you've been told to go clean the kitchen, are you just going to let me sweep and move this out the way? Let me hide this piece of dust. Or are you going to do it with cunning work? Are you going to do it with pride? Are you going to do it as if you're doing it unto the Lord? Because it's his temple. It's not your house. I can care less if you don't wash your butt and don't clean your bathroom. But according to the Most High, which is more important to you, this is his temple. Act like it. Verse 9. The length of one curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. The curtains were all of one size. And he coupled, verse 10, and he coupled the 5 curtains one to another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled one to another. Verse 11, and he made loops of blue on the edge of the curtain from the selvage in the coupling. Likewise, he made in the uttermost side of the other curtain in the coupling for the second. Verse 12, 50 loops made he in one curtain, and 50 loops made he in the edge of the curtain, which was the coupling of the second. The loops held one curtain to the other. So essentially, he put in these, you know how you got curtain rings, like your window curtains or your shower curtains. He made 50 of them, so he can be able to connect all of the curtains together. And it's amazing how, as you look around, I kind of wonder, what did these other nations do on their own? Outside of all of the LGBTQ stuff and all of the bestiality stuff and all of the SA stuff and the pedo stuff, what did they really do? Like they don't even know, in 2025, they don't even know how to wash their butt properly. And they will admit it to themselves. They admitted it to the world. What was that? Serena Williams' husband said she ain't know how to wash up until she met him, until they got together. That's a grown man. And then I looked at her as, hey, you nasty. You gonna let that dirty rod go inside of you? Like, he just told you he don't know how to wash up. I will leave that alone. But that's the point of this. This is the point of this. There are certain things that is asked of us, and we have to be in the right spirit when we're doing them. We can't be lazy when we're serving the Most High. All right, so we're going to pick it up at 36 and 13. 36 and 13. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36 and 13. Waya Aisha Hamash Yum Korah Sayah Zahab Waya Habar Ath Hayara Wa'ith Salaki Ya'ith Akath Al Akath Bakwa Rasayam Waya Haya Hamash Khan Akkad, verse 14. Waya Aisha Yara Ya'ith Yara Ya'ith Isa Yum La'a Hala Al Hamash Khan Aisha Thaya Aisha Thaya Aishar Uriah, Ya'ith, Aisha, a thumb, verse 15. Arak, Haya, Raya, Ayah, Ha'akath, Shalash Yum, Ba'ama, Wa'a, Ra'abai, Wa'ath, Wath, Salakia, Rahab, Haya, Raya, Ayah, Ha'akath, Madah, Akath, La Aishath, Aishar, Yara, Ya'ith, verse 16. Wayachabar, Ath, Hamash, Haya, Raya, Ith, Labad, Wa'ath, Shasha, Haya, Raya, Ith, Labad, verse 17. Wayaish, Lala'ath, Hamash, Yum, Al, Shapath, Haya, Raya, Ayah, Hakwaya, Tazana'ah, Bama, Kabarath, Waya, Salakia, Wahum, Shayum, Lala'ath, Aisha, Al, Shapath, Haya, Raya, Ayah, Ha, Habarath, Hashanyath, verse 18. Waya, Aisha, Quara, Saya, Nak, Shath, Hamash, Yum, La Chabar, La'ah, Lahayath, Akkad, verse 19. Waya Aisha, Makasa, La'ah, Hala, Irath, Alayum, Yalum, Dumyum, Wamak, Saya, Irath, Takash, Yum, Mala, Ma'ai, Lakia, Ma'ai, Laha, and that's 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to go ahead and get it in the English. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36 and 13. And he made 50 taches of gold and coupled the curtains one unto another with 50 taches, so it became one tabernacle. So, of course, this is him connecting the curtains and how he put it together, or how he assembled it. Verse 14, and he made the curtains of goat's hair for the tent over the tabernacles. 11 curtains he made. Verse 15, the length of one curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits was the breadth of one curtain. 11 curtains were of one size. Verse 16, and he coupled 5 curtains by themselves and 6 curtains by themselves. Verse 17, and he made 50 loops upon the uttermost edge of the curtain in the coupling, and 50 loops he made he upon the edge of the curtain which coupled the second. Verse 18, and he made 50 taches of brass to couple the tent together, that it might be one. Verse 19, and he made a covering for the tent of ram skin, dyed red, and a covering of badger skin above that. So this was the amount of layers, the quality of work that he put into the craftsmanship of it, and the amount. So in his direction, it wasn't like, oh, make me a tent or make me a house, and then your house that you live in is better than the Most High's house. Like, you can see by the care that's being described in the construction of these, just making of the curtains to make a tabernacle, to cover the tabernacle. This is how much effort is being put in to get this done. And it doesn't say of sloppy workmanship, of careless workmanship. It's of cunning workmanship. You need to care about the work you do for the Most High. Check your spirit. All right, so we're going to get the next 7 verses in Hebrew. We're going to pick it up at verse 20 of the 36th chapter. This is Exodus 36 and 20. Waya Aisha Ath Hakwara Shayum Lumash Khan Itazawa Itazaya Shatayim Imad Yum. Verse 21. Aishar Athum Salakia Amath Arat Hakaraash Wa'a Maha Waka Tazaya Ha'aim Ha'ama Ra Thaba Hakra Ra'ash Ha'akad. Verse 22. Shathya Yadath Lakwa Rasha Ha'akad Masha Labath Akadath. It's like it. Akath Al Akath Khan Aisha Lakal Korah Shaya Hum Shakan. Verse 23. Waya Aisha Ath Hakorah Shayum Lum Shakan Aishara Yum Korah Shayum Lapa'ath Nagab Baya Mana. Verse 24. Wa'a Rabbi Yum. Adanya Kasapa Aisha Thakath Aisharayim Aishar Yum Hakorah Shayum Shanyum Adanyum Thakath Hakarash Ha'akad Lashathya Yadath Yawa. So like it. Yadath Yawa Washenya Adanyum Thakath Hakarash Ha'akad Lashathya Yadath Yawa. Verse 25. Wala Tazaliyai Hamash Yakan Hama like it. Hashan Yatha La Panaath La Pa Atha Tazapanya Tazapawan Aisha Aisharayum Kwara'a Shayum. Verse 26. Wa'a Rabbi Yum Adun Yahum Kasapa Shinya Adun Yum Thakath Hakarash Ha'akad Shinya Adun Yum Thakath Hakarash Ha'akad. And that's up to verse 27, 26 in the Hebrew. We're going to go ahead and get it in the English. This is Exodus 36 and verse 20. And he made boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood standing up. The length of the board was 10 cubits, and the breadth of the board was 1 cubit and a half. One board had 2 tenions, quality distance from another, which means it was 2 tenions equally distanced from the other. So the spacing was the same essentially. One board had 2 tenions equally distant from another. Thus did he make for all the boards of one tabernacle. If you can imagine it, imagine how you have a picket fence and that picket fence is equally spaced apart, as an example. And he made boards for the tabernacles, 20 boards for the south side southward. Verse 24, and the 40 sockets of silver he made under 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenions, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenions. Verse 25, and for the other side of the tabernacle, which is toward the north corner, he made 20 boards. Verse 26, and there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board and 2 sockets under the other board. Essentially, all of this is just covering the construction of how he's decorating, how he's building the temple in specific detail. And I think about it, how I would leave instructions for my children. So if I had a business where I was making a particular sword, and this sword, it was made with blending 2 different types of metal, 1% of another sword, and I folded it maybe 700 times. Each step I'm detailing out, because when I'm not here, I would want that temple or that sword to be constructed the same way. So you're given detailed instructions, coupled with that spirit the Most High put on you to do the work. Like if you got that spirit put on you, you shouldn't deny the work, because the Most High doesn't put that spirit on everybody. The Most High doesn't give that opportunity to everybody. When you have an opportunity to actually come, ask questions, seek the Most High, get your answers, get guidance, get leadership, get brotherhood, and you choose not to, that's not on the Most High. That's your fault. And it gets harder and harder and harder to get your foot in the door. And that's the work of you can say, Satan, trying to keep you so preoccupied, so tied up that you can't come hear thus saith the Lord. You can't come hear the instructions that will make you perfect, that'll change your life for the better, that'll give you guidance to your children, to your rib, to your family, etc., etc. We got to pay attention, Israel. All right, let's pick it up at the 27th verse. In the Hebrew, well, this is Exodus chapter 36 and verse 27. Wallah, Yarak, Thayah, Hum, Shakan, Yama, Aisha, Shasha, Kwaraash, Yum, verse 28. Washunya, Kwaraash, Kwara, Shayum, Aisha, Lama, Kwa Tazaith, Hamash, Kun, Baya, Rakath, Yum, verse 29. Waha, Yawa, Thawa, Amam, Mala, Mata, Waya, Chadwa, Yaha, Yawa, Hum, Yum, Al, Ra'ash, Wa, Al, Hatab, Aith, Ha'akath, Khan, Aisha, Lashun, Yahum, Lashun, Yah, Hum, Quatasa, Aith, verse 30. Waha, Yawa, Shum, Na, Korah, Shayum, Wa'ad, Wa'ah, Wa'adun, Yahum, Kasap, Shasha, Aishar, Adun Yum, Shun Yum, Shunya, Slakia, Shunya, Adun Yum, Shunya, Adun Yum, Thakath, Hakra, Hakwa, Rasha, Akkad, verse 31. Waya Asha, Baraya, Kath, Itazaya, Shatai Yum, Hamash Ya, Lakoria, Laquara, Shaya, Taza'a, La'ai, Tazala'ai, Hamash Khan, Ha'akath, verse 32, Wakam Shah, Bara, Yahum, Lakora, Shaya, Tazala'ai, Hum, Shakan, Hashun Yath, Wahum, Shaya, Baraya, Hum, Laquara, Shaya, Hamash Khan, Laya Quarkath, Yum, Yama, verse 33. Waya Asha, Ath, Habaraya Kath, Hamath Khan, Labarakath, Bath Yakah, Habara'ah, Shayum, Mun, Hakwa Taza'ah, Al, Hakwa Tazahah. And that's 7 verses in the English. We're going to go ahead and get it in the Hebrew. This is Exodus chapter 36 and 27. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards, and the 2 boards made for the corners of the tabernacles in the 2 sides. Verse 29, and they were coupled beneath and coupled together at the head thereof to one ring. Thus he did to both of them in both corners. Verse 30, and there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 sockets of silver, under every board 2 sockets. And he made bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the sides westwards. Verse 33, and he made of the middle bar to shoot through the boards from one end to the other. Again, this is still just describing this description of the tabernacle, the construction of it. I hear a lot of people say when you hit them with something that they don't believe or they don't want to follow or they don't want to listen to, they try to make the excuse or they try to say stuff like, well, that wasn't important. And it's mind-boggling to me to say that something wasn't important that the Most High deemed fit to be in the Bible. It then lasted over 2,000 years. All the Edomites that tried to burn your history, it survived. And then you, being a super genius, says, well, no, That ain't important. You're an idiot. That's what that boils down to. You're just dumb. Like, how could you say something is not important and it's written in the most important book in the whole world? We tell people Jesus is black, so that don't matter. You're an idiot, just dumb. Like, I don't need to call y'all simple-minded, but y'all do have to understand that there is nothing in this Bible that is unimportant. There's nothing in this Bible that was written not for our learning. Everything that's in this Bible, we need to take to heart. We need to clearly understand and make drastic changes to meet the standard. For everybody who feels that the Most High is allowing this to happen because he wants it to continue to happen, you're just lost. Like, you getting in trouble or you being punished for your sins should be a warning, should be a sign to say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do that again. I just slept with this brother's wife. Now I got blue waffle. I'm going to learn from that. Now I got monkeypox because I wanted to hang out at a Diddy party. Like, sometimes things happen for you to learn. But for some reason, our people, stubborn and stiff-necked, just hard-headed. We don't learn. We got to hit our head 47 times against the wall. 47. Just for us to consider, hey, maybe we should use the door. I do see a door handle right here. And then you got to hit your head 3 more times just to make sure. All right, I'm just making sure. Got to be better than that, Israel. All right, so we're going to get the next 7 verses. I believe I left off at 34. So we're going to pick it up at 34. Wa'ath, this is Exodus chapter 36 and verse 34. Wa'ath, hakwarash yum, tazapana, zahab, athat wa'ath, taba'ath, taba'athum, aisha, zahab, bathyum, labar, yakam, labar yacham, waya, tazapah, ath, habarayah, hum, zahab, verse 35. Waya, aisha, ath, hapara, kath, thakath, lath, wa'a, ragam, na, wa'a, ragam, na. Okay. Wath, wala'ith, shunya, washasha, mashazara, ma'aisha, chabash, aisha, atha, karab yum, verse 36. Waya, aisha, laha, ara, ba'aya, aim, wadya, shatayim. That's shittim, if y'all didn't know. So when I say shatayim, that's shittim. So y'all just learned the Hebrew word. Waya tazapayim, waya taza pama, zahab, wawa, zahum, zahab, waya tazakwa, lahum, ara ba'aya, adanya, Kasapa, verse 37. Waya Aisha, Masaka, Lapun Thakath, Lapa, Lapath, Lapathka. Salakia, Lapathka, Ha'a Laha, Thakath La, Salakia, that's Thakal Tha, Wa'a Raga, Wa'a Ragum Na, Watha, Wala'ith, Shumya, Washasha, Mashara, Ma'aisha, Ra Kama, verse 38. Wa'ath, Aim, Wad Yawa, Aim, Wad Yawa. Hey. Kamasha, Wa'ath, Wawa Yawa, Wawa Yahum. It's like it. Wawa Yahum, Wa Tazapaya, Ra'ash, Yahum, Wakash, Kwaya, Hum, Zabak, Wa'a, Dunya, Hum, Kamasha, Nakash Tha. This is Exodus 37 and 1. Waya Aisha, Bataza, La'al, Ath, Ha'aran, Itazayah, Shah Tayum, that Shittim, Amath Yum, Wakath Tazayum, Arak Kawa, Wa'am Ha, Wa Katazayah, Wa Kazawab, Wa'ama, Wa Katazayah, Kwam Thayah, Kwa Thayum, verse 2. Salakia, that was Kwa, Kwam, Thawa, verse 2. Waya Tazapaya, Salakia, Waya Tazapawa, Zaha, Taha, Wara, Maba, Yath, Wam, Chawam, Tazah, Taza'ah, Waya, Aisha, Luwa, Zara, Zabah, Sapa, Yaba, Salakia, Sab, Yab. All right, that's 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to go ahead and get it in the English. This is Exodus chapter 36, starting at verse 34. And he overlaid the boards with gold and made the rings of gold to be places for the bars, and overlaid the bars of gold. And he made a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. With cherubims made he it of cunning work. Them cherubims of cunning work, that means it wasn't sloppy. Stop trying to play the Most High. Verse 36, and he made thereunto 4 pillars of shittim wood, and he overlaid them with gold. Salakia, their hooks were of gold, and he cast of them 4 sockets of silver. And he made an hanging for the tabernacle door of blue and of purple and of scarlet and fine twined linen of needlework. Verse 38, and 5 pillars of it with their hooks, and he overlaid their. See, you got to look up a word when you don't know it. All right, so this word, it means head, top, summer, upper part, chief, total, sum. So he overlaid the top part of their fillets with gold, but their 5 sockets were of brass. All right, this is 37 and 1. And Bezalel made the ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, a cubit and a half the breadth of it, and a cubit and a half the height of it. So now we're talking about the ark, or what people will know the Ark of the Covenant. Verse 2, and he overlaid it with pure gold within and without, so inside and out. He laid it with gold and made a crown of gold to it round about. So then he crowned it out, made of gold. All right, so we're going to get the... All right, we're going to get the last 7 verses in the Hebrew. This is Exodus chapter 38. Wait. 37. So like it. Starting at verse 3. Waya Tazapana. Oh, so like it. This is Exodus 37 and verse 3. Waya Tazakwa Lawa Arabai Taba'ith Zahab Al Arabai Pa'im Thaya Salakia Pa'im Tha Yuwa Washath Ya Taba'ith Al Tazalai Wa Ha'akath Washath Ya Taba'ith Al Taza La'awa Hashun Yath, verse 4. Waya Aisha Badia Atazaya Shata Yum Waya Tazapa Athum, so like it, Athum Zahab, verse 5. Waya Ba'a Ath Habad Yum Bata Ba'ith Al Tazala'ith Ha'aron Lasha Ath Ha'aron, verse 6. Waya Aisha Kaparath Zahab Tahawara Amath Yum Wa Ha Za Salaki Wa Ha Tazaya Araka Wa Wa Ka Tazaya Rahabak. It's like it. Ba. Verse 7. Waya Aisha Shinya Karab Yum Zahab Ma Kusha Aisha Athum Shumya Shum Naya Kwa Tazawa'ath Haka Parath. Verse 8. Kara Wab Akkad Mukwa Taza'a Mazah Waka Rawab Akkad Mukwa Taza'a Mazah Mun Haka Parath Aisha Ath Ha'arath Salakia. Hakarab yum mashan yum kwa tazawa wathwa. Verse 9. Waya haya wa hakar bayum parash yum kun parayum kun payum Salakia lama'al Saka sayum baka bakun paya hum al haka parath wapun yahum aisha ayash al akyawa al haka parath hayawa punya hakara baya. So like it Hakarab Yum. So like it Hakarab Yum. And that's 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're gonna get the last 7 in the English. And then we're gonna close out. This is Exodus chapter 37, starting at verse 3. And he cast it for 4 rings of gold to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. And he made staves of shittim wood and overlaid them with gold. Verse 5, and he put the staves into rings by the sides of the ark to bear it. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold. It wasn't plated. Of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half was the breadth thereof. Verse 7, and he made 2 cherubims of gold, beaten out of the one piece made he them. So you had 1 lump of gold, and he made 2 pieces, 2 cherubims out of 1 piece of gold. And Salakia, on the 2 ends of the mercy seat, verse 8, 1 cherubim on the end of the side, and another cherubim on the other end on that side. Out of the mercy seat made he the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. Verse 9, and the cherubim spread out their rings on high and covered with their wings over the mercy seat, with their faces one to another, even to the mercy seat seatward were their faces of the cherubim, were the faces of the cherubim. So essentially, the Ark of the Covenant had the 2 cherubims. They was facing each other. The wings was covering the mercy seat that was on the Ark of the Covenant. That part of it was made out of pure gold. You had a lot of stuff that was said it was covered or overlaid in gold. That means it wasn't solid gold. That means it was gold plated. But it's giving you the details of how it was constructed. All right. We got any questions? Nope. With that being, all right, go ahead. Ask your question. What question you got? No, go ahead. You raise your hand now. You done fucked up. You done raise your hand. All right. With that being said, we're gonna close out. Mina Israel, I Mariam. Shout out to Shariwan, my Hebrew reader, Layash Allah, which means to Israel. Reading that Hebrew is like riding a bike. Sometimes when you get back on it, you might fumble a little bit, but you know how to do it. You'll figure it out. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into the Hebrew prayers. Shapanyam, Akudam, which means to turn and face the east. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'a, Rakazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakazak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathananawa, Lahon, Kal, Yawon, Wasalatmanawa, Kabawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathianawa, Wala'a, Babiayanawa, Bayasan Wan, Abor, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wala'ala, Wata Parath, La'awalamium, Aman. Lord's Prayer in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever, so be it. Akasha power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Babukashah, Nathananawa, Hakat, Hakat, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Kal Matawa, Hakash, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakat, Lahakwayim, Hamathim, Hakash, Al Rakawath, Hatama Allah Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power against, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barak Manawa, Wayasha'ala, Wahabayah Saparim, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayunya, Ahahara, Ma'ayun, Yaba'a, Azariah, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Asha, Shamayum, Wa'arakazah, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazolka, Al Yad, Yamyamka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wa'arak, Balaya La, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Mukara, Yashamar, Apnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabu'aka, Ma'athai, Wa'ai, Awalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He would not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim, Al-Dalayamaka, Al-Takarash, Al-Tashakwa, Al-Kayahana, Al-Yabika, Yahamayawan, Salakia, Ramashana Yaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al-Amika, Ya'amimiwa, Sawad, Wayatha, Ya'aitazawa, Al-Tazapawaniya, Amara, Lakawa, Wanakunkina, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum Yasa'ala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa'aitazawa, Lav, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Bariyath, Yakaratha, Ahahoya, Adawam, Wayashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'aimawan, Wa'amalak, Palashat, Aim Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Nalawa, Amaim, Hayawad, Zawawad, Labunya Lawat, Salah, Ashalahum, Kamadian, Kasayasa Ra'a, Kayabian, Banahar, Kawashawan, Nashamadwa, Ma'ayanda Ra'a, Hayawad, Daman, La'adama, Sha'athama, Nadiyamawa, Ka'arab, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakatazar Mana'ai, Kal Nashiakuma, Ashar, Amora, Nairashad, Lanawa, Af, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Sha'athama, Kagorgula, Kakwash, Lapanya Waraka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira Ya'ira, Waka, Lahaba, Dalahat, Harayam, Kandara Datma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa Wapatka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Quayawam, Waya Bakwashiwa, Shimka Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'ira, Kaya Atha, Shimka Yahawa, Labat, Alyawan, Alkahar Rakaza. Psalms 83 in the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they have said, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, doing to them as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kizon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a Reb and like Z, yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tenders, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, are the most high over all the earth. Blessings in the Hebrew, Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah, wa Ma'ika'Allah, wa Alahayim, Matazabia, Alawap Yahana, Ha'alawapium, Hasaranyum, Hakwatazayanyum, Hakayayayum, wa Ha'akwatin, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Wada Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Sorry. Turn. Shah, which means you may be seated. Hold on. We're going to go ahead and close out. Bene Israel, Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahba Shem Yahweh Shah Barakathum, Yashmatah. Sorry. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Bene Israel, Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh, Shamar, Alathah, by Shem Yahweh Shah. Yashmatah, dismissed.
ISUPK presents the 8th annual Midwest Fire Weekend 2025. A day of brotherhood, sisterhood, food, fun, and unity. We raising funds to cover the barbecue, the food, the drink, bounce houses, snow cones, games, and more, so the whole family can come out and enjoy. Every donation helps us make this day even greater for the community. Support the Midwest Fire Weekend 2025. Click the link below and donate today.